you see, the compassion really, you see, create that kind of, you see, what's a positive atmosphere. So as a result, you see, you feel calm or peace and satisfied. Now, with that kind of, as a mental attitude, naturally, the compassionate, wherever one compassionate person live, they automatically some kind of pleasant atmosphere always there. Even dogs or birds also, you see, come eventually, you see, easily come close. So come to that person. Here, I often, you see, telling, you see, in many years, one small experience which I had many years ago, almost 50 years ago. You see, that is one, you see, in Lhasa, in Nobulinga, Summer Palace. I had, among some birds, usually I kept some birds. Among the birds were one small parrot. So is it that parrot? One of my attendants already. Attendant. One old, elderly, you see, person. Although his, you see, face appearances not that much, you see, friendly. Well, his eye very round. That kind of, you see, stern eye. But you see, to that bird, you see, he always is feeding something, nuts, things like that. So the bird is, when you see, that is a person about to see appears to that direction, and I think sound of his walking and some coughing, the immediately this is a small parrot is showing some kind of excitement. Then you see he feed. Some kind of extraordinary, you see, friendly manner, you see, with that small bird. And actually, I also want, you see, that kind of response from that small bird. You see, a few occasions I feed, you see, nut. Never show that kind of, you see, the friendly manner. Then I start to use stick. Although, you see, I expect, you see, with stick, that small bird may react more differently. But then you see, result totally negative. You're using more force. That bird, even small, you see, poor bird, you see, react accordingly. So therefore, if you want genuine friend, first we must create the positive, atmosphere. And after all, we are social animal. I think in our life, friends are very important. Friendly manner, genuine smile. These are, I think, very important for our life. So how to bring good smile? If you remain stern and suspicious, very difficult. Perhaps if you have more power, more money, then I think some people, some artificial smile may offer to you, but this is not a very good one. So you see, genuine smile must come on the basis of compassion. Now I think the question is, how to develop compassion? Whether we can really develop that kind of compassion. That's the question. But my answer is certainly yes. Why? Firstly, basic human nature I believe, gentleness, more compassionate. Often you see people thought, because of, I think, the human history, and even today's the situation, many people thought human nature, basic human nature is aggressive. Now we think, let us think. The time of our conception in mother's womb, and then the time when we were in mother's womb, still there, the mother's compassionate attitude, peaceful, restful mental attitude, mental state, very positive factor. Agitated mind of the mother, very harmful. That's just the beginning of our life. And also even conception, I think, not through rape or something, then terribly, these unwanted children happening. The proper child come on the conception take place in genuine love. That genuine love means respect each other, not just mad love. Knowing each other well, not only is it some love affair, but also develop some kind of respect as a person. On that basis, genuine, happy marriage take place. That marriage remain whole life or long-lasting. So that's the proper way. So the beginning of life, started from that kind of situation. Then, according to medical science, just after birth, a few weeks, during that period, the child's the brain enlarging. During that period, according to medical science, medical expert, the physical touch, whether mother or someone else who are acting like mother, the physical touch is crucial factor for proper development of the child's brain. So this also shows, the human physical itself, need some other's affection. Then also, I think after birth, the first act from the mother side, giving milk. From the child's side, sucking milk. The milk, almost, I think, the symbol of compassion, symbol of affection. Without that, the child can't survive. Now that milk, from the child's side, without affection to the mother, whether that child recognize one's own mother or not, in any way, some kind of closeness feeling is there. With that, this is sucking milk. Without that feeling, closeness feeling, may not, touch the mother's, what's that?
Nipple.
Breast. Breast. So the mother side also, if you see some kind of frustration, some kind of dislike, to the child, then milk may not come freely. So with the affection, the milk come. So I think our first act, taking milk, that's the symbol of affection. So I always reminds, when I visit a church, they Mary carrying Jesus Christ as a small baby. That to me, symbol of affection, symbol of love. So then obviously, those children whose home where love and affection there, these child, the physical development also better, healthier, normal, and study also become normal or better. were lacking about human affection, love and affection. The children, you see, even the physical development also sometimes difficult, and the study also difficult. So then I think the most important thing, those children who at the early age grow under lack of human love and affection, then these children, when they grown up, they find it difficult to show other human love and compassion. And that's a great tragedy, great tragedy. So then look at our last moment of our life. That's death. Even at the time of death, the dying person also no longer use your friend. But even then, you see, that person is surrounded by your friend. That person, the dying person, may have, you see, more calm mind. So therefore, in whole life, right from the beginning up to death, the human affection is most important role. Then look, this is physical nature. More affectionate mind automatically create more peace of mind, more calm mind. That affect our body very positively. Hatred, anger, too much jealousy, fear, upset our peace of mind. No longer there. Some kind of, always some kind of, uncomfortable agitation. That affects our body very badly. So you see, our very body need peace of mind. Don't suit, not suit the agitated mind. So this shows in our blood there is some kind of appreciation of peace of mind. So therefore, I think we can say, I believe, some people may not agree, but doesn't matter. They say, I feel of course, the anger, the aggressive nature, these also part of our life, but dominant force of our life, right, is, I believe, human affection. So therefore, you see, there is possibility to strengthen, you see, that basic nature of human being. And secondly, human intelligence. If you analyze things properly, then you can get some kind of conclusion. If I help other, if I take more concern about other, then I will get reward. I will get benefit. If I harm other, then eventually I will get trouble. So sometimes I usually half joke, half sincere, half serious. You see, I usually telling people, if we truly be selfish, then should be a wise selfish rather than foolish selfish. Isn't it? So that part, I think human intelligence can provide that kind of attitude. One side, we have the potential development of human compassion. Then other side, human intelligence, analyze the situation. Now we need, maybe I think the rounding call situation to do so. Those intelligence code one.
So on the other side, there is the human intelligence, which if we use it properly, we can gain insights into how, by living a compassionate way of life, we can fulfill our own self-interest. One could possibly argue that that way of being compassionate is ultimately selfish.
But then here, selfish itself, I don't think something wrong. Love oneself is very crucial. without love oneself, how to show love to other? Some people, you see, get the understanding or impression, selfless, compassion, social
it seems that when people talk about compassion, often some people tend to have the notion that compassion entails or requires total disregard of one's own self-interest, sacrificing one's own self-interest.
This is not the, I think, not the case. Not the case. In fact, as I mentioned earlier, the genuine concern or love, first is oneself. This is some people, this is some kind of self-hatred or something. Or that's, I think, totally wrong. With that kind of mental attitude, then very difficult to show other genuine sense of concern. So there is possibility, to strengthen, to increase, these, good human quality or potential of this good quality. And then, of course, one way it is very important to increase, to strengthen our compassion. And on the other hand, the need to check the anger, hatred side. So combine these two ways, then we can transform. The negative-minded person can transform a very kind person. That is very possible. So that's the way to transform. So now how to check anger, hatred? Hatred, ill feeling towards other. I think that is something, and also I think the sense of revenge. That I think is totally negative. Almost I think absolute negative. The anger, I think there can be two types. One anger on the basis of compassion with basis of sense of concern. Some angers may be positive, but still better not. But basically there can be two kinds of anger. And then also I think as I mentioned earlier, selfish itself is nothing wrong. So similarly here the sense of strong self.
Strong sense of self.
Strong sense of self. Ego, egoistic. That also, not necessarily, negative. There can be two. One, sense of strong self, right? Strong self. What?
A strong sense of self.
So one that feeling, which lead no hesitation to harm on other. That kind of ego is negative, very bad. That lead us in trouble. But on the other hand, it's a strong feeling I, self, which act as a basis of determination or willpower, self-confidence. That kind of, strong feeling I, very necessary. Without that, how can develop self-confidence? No matter how difficult it is, I must carry this work. I will determine. I determine to do this. There you need strong sense of I must be there. So there is two types of egoistic, I think, feeling. So similarly, desire. Also, there can be two kinds. So in any way, those like hatred, I think very bad for health reason, for friendship, for harmony, everywhere. The hatred is very negative. Now, how to reduce that? And the hatred usually led by anger. First, anger comes, then it first, as a reactive emotion, anger arises,
and then anger can gradually become a feeling of hatred.
So, there, I think we need some, I think
a skillful means or skillful approach.
Firstly, it is very important to know anger is negative. Usually, you see, people consider anger is part of our mind. Anger comes, even say, better to show, better let come. I think that's wrong concept. Some, grievance, due to some your past experience, once happen, only rarely happen. Then such, some kind of resentment here, some kind of grievances, maybe let out, then finish. That's very possible. But usually, constant anger. That I think is better to make check. Then eventually, year by year, eventually can reduce. According to my own experience, that really work. Once you take some kind of position, anger is something better to distance. With realization, anger is something troublesome. Better I have no anger. That kind of position. That kind of position itself makes differences. Then anger comes. The smaller anger, you can, at the time when anger is about to come, you can think about the subject, object.
The object of your anger.
Or object of the anger. They think other way round. Any person or any circumstances which usually cause anger, basically relative. So from one angle you can see very negative. You can't bear it. But the same object or same circumstances, look from another angle, you may find some good things. Now, for example, we lost our own country, become refugee. If you look only from that angle, then you might get more frustration or something, more sadness. But the same event, create new opportunity, meeting with other people, meeting with different people from different religious tradition, things like that. So this unfortunate event creates new opportunity. Look from that angle, then yes, it is bad, but also opportunity. The mental attitude become more balanced. So that's one method. Then another thing. If you get some kind of sick, if you only meditate or only think about the sickness, then the frustration increases. Then it is very useful to make comparison. Look, even the worst case, some other illness, or even one's own illness. If I get even worse illness, worse illness, worse.
It could have been worse. So when you sort of encounter such situations, one effective way is to compare and see its relativity. Although the experience is really very bad, but if I compared it to something that could have been even worse, then that realization itself will immediately kind of reduce the intensity.
And also, some trouble happen. That if you look from closely, then it appears very big. But the same problem, look from wider angle or perspective. It's the same problem appears smaller. So these are the methods. When you face some problem. And through this kind of outlook, you see, you can reduce mental frustration. So you see, constant effort, eventually, you see, the anger side can reduce. Meanwhile, you see, try to strengthen the compassionate side. So that's the way. So now here, one thing, if you see someone who have interest in this field, that person have, you see, the religious faith, it is very good. You see, that I think very, very useful to strengthen, you see, these things. Now, for example, the gospel, you see, says, if you see someone is hit here, you see, show this. This, I mean, clearly, you see, they show the practice of tolerance. And love to God and love to fellow human being. So this is, to me, I think main message is love to fellow human being. And the reason to must show, why you see we have to show love to fellow human being, because we love God. So that's I think that's what that. So you see, the main message is love to fellow human being. And also God, in the sense, infinite love. So these, you see, message or these teaching are very powerful, is to increase, to strengthen our inner good quality. So, and of course, you see, Buddhist way of approach. You see, the very clear technique. You see, first try to equalize all sentient being. Then, you see, they think all sentient being is precious life, just like myself. And through these bases, you see, developing the sense of concern others. So the religious belief, religious faith is very useful to strengthen. But in case, you see, no religious, you see, faith, then I think here it's important to know whether we should be religious-minded or not. It is individual right. So without a religion, we can manage. In some cases, even simpler, even better. But you see, you should not forget. You see, once you no more interest, no interest about religion, you should not, you see, neglect about the value of human good quality. That is different. You see, so long we are a human being, so long we are the member of human society, we need human compassion. Without that, you can't be a happy human being. So everyone, you see, want to be a happy life, successful life, and a happy person, happy family. If you want that, the key factor is human. Some kind of extraordinary, you see, friendly manner, you see, with that small bird. And actually, I also want, you see, that kind of response from that small bird. You see, a few occasions I feed, you see, nut. Never show that kind of, you see, the friendly manner. Then I start to use stick. Although, you see, I expect, you see, with stick, that small bird may react more differently. But then you see, result totally negative. You're using more force. That bird, even small, you see, poor bird, you see, react accordingly. So therefore, if you want genuine friend, first we must you know, you see, the compassion really, you see, create that kind of, you see, what's a positive atmosphere. So as a result, you see, you feel calm or peace and satisfied. Now, with that kind of, see, as a mental attitude, naturally, compassionate, wherever one compassionate person live, automatically some kind of pleasant atmosphere always there. dogs or birds also, you see, come eventually, you see, easily come close. Come to that person. Here, I often, you see, telling, you see, in many years, one small experience which I had many years ago, almost 50 years ago. You see, that is one, you see, in Lhasa, in Norpulinga, Summer Palace. I had, among some birds, usually I kept some birds. Among the birds there, one small parrot. So is it that parrot? One of my attendants already. Attendant. One old to create the positive, atmosphere. And after all, we are social animals. I think in our life, friends are very important. Friendly manner, genuine smile. These are, I think, very important for our life. So how to bring good smile? If you remain stern and suspicious, very difficult. Perhaps if you have more power, more money, then I think some people, some artificial smile may offer to you, but this is not a very good one. So it's a genuine smile, elderly, you see, a person. Although his, you see, face appearance is not that much friendly. Well, his eye very round. That kind of, you see, stern eye. But you see, to that bird, you see, he always is feeding something, nuts, things like that. So the bird is, when you see, that is a person about to see appears to that direction, and I think sound of his walking and some coughing, the immediately this is a small parrot is showing some kind of excitement. Then you see he feed. Oh, there's